Local program funding provided by a generous grant from Union Pacific. Union Pacific, building America.
I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the Forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the Forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.
I'm Ashley Tate, your host, here with my co-hosts, Chris Resner and Christy Largent, and we are here with the local musicians from our North State, Summer Schappell and Daniel Munoz, and you'll get a chance to hear them a little later. Hi. Summer.
Hello. We are so glad you're here. You're probably thinking, Summer Schappell, that is so, that's such a familiar name. Why is it so familiar? Well, Summer, why don't you tell us why that might be such a familiar name? She's so cute.
I have been singing country music in the area for going on 5 years now.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Country.
Country. How'd you get into country music? Like, how did that get started?
It's a funny story. I actually hated country music for a long time. Yeah. And I know that's terrible to say, but I just did not like it.
Honest.
It was twangy.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it really is.
That's true.
It is. So I went down to the Bay Area and went to a Cancer Society fundraiser. And there was a band there. I was 13. Yeah. And I asked, hey, can I sing with your band? And they were like, yeah, whatever. You can sing with our band. And so I did. And then after I got off stage, the guitar player, his name is Ron Cornelius, he had approached me and said, hey, I'm a producer in Nashville. Do you want to record an album? And my grandparents were like, whoa, she's 13, not happening. So I went back the next year, sang with the band again, and he asked again, and we said yeah.
Wow.
You just asked to go up and speak.
That's amazing.
I mean, and
to sing.
Just to go up and sing.
Yeah.
What band was it?
Yeah.
They're called the Untouchables. They were like a 50s, 60s band.
So you probably knew the song already.
Oldies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
raised with oldies. So.
Wow.
But he's a producer in Nashville, and so that you were 14 and you went and did your first album. Did you? What was involved then?
Yeah.
So I didn't write songs. He would pick out songs that would fit our criteria, and then he would send them to me, and I had to pick 10 songs out of 50, so it was really hard to narrow everything down. So, and then I recorded them and made an album, and
how'd it do?
it did, it was, for a first album, it did pretty good. I got to do a lot of amazing things. I got to open for a lot of people, which is
Like
That's
who?
what I want to hear. I want to hear who all you've opened for.
okay.
All the celebrities.
I've
gossip.
opened. My first one was Josh Turner.
I like that guy.
Little Big Town, Leanne Rimes, Jason Aldean, Mark Chestnut,
Wow.
Eric Church.
Wow.
So a lot of cool people, and it's.
What's that like, opening for them? I mean, does it make you more nervous, or are you just? How does it work?
I don't really get nervous. Because I'm thinking about, okay, how am I gonna get, what's gonna be the transition in between songs? What am I gonna say? So I'm always like going. So I don't really get too nervous about it.
Now, you had some funny little story about Leanne Rimes, and that was here in Reading, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? Tell us about that one. What happened on that story?
I had just got home from school. It was senior year of high school, and I just got home from school that day, and I was taking a nap, and I got a phone call. Hey, we need an opener for Leanne Rimes. Can you be here in an hour? And I was like,
Wow.
And where were you living?
yeah, in Lakehead. I lived so half an hour away. So I got in the shower, got here, no sound check, just opened for her.
Oh my God.
And
How'd you do?
it was good.
Yeah.
Did all
I
right?
said I like to work with chaos, and that was
Good.
good for me. I liked it. I enjoyed
It
it.
was chaotic.
So how do we find your music? You're on iTunes?
Yes, on iTunes, you can go to summerschappell.com. I'm Mostly on iTunes, though, is where it's at. And also CD Baby, cdbaby.com.
And is that a common place for people to find new CDs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And
So what kind of stuff do you have going on now? I mean, you've been doing this, 5 years now, and I hear you've just come back from Nashville,
Yes.
right? So what was that like?
I had gone to Nashville to record my second album, which is amazing. And I was on a flight back home and just happened to sit next to a guy on the plane who just happened to have this humongous fundraiser in Tennessee. And he's like, hey, you want to come perform? And I was like,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
that's
So
amazing.
did he
I
pay
did.
your way to come back and perform?
Yeah. Like he set us up with everything. It was
really cool.
we even had a driver like to drive us around everywhere.
What's that like to get off the airplane and have him standing there, Summer Schappell?
It's weird because I'm just like we can just like get a cab or something. Like it's weird. It's
You
weird.
had a ton of serendipitous events happen.
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
life. I mean,
exciting.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Exciting.
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
domino
It's really
effect for you.
exciting.
So do they, when you get a call like to open for Leanne Rhymes, do you get paid to do that?
Yes, and it depends on if you are working with tracks or if you have a band. I mostly perform with tracks just because it's easier, put a CD together, get there, as versus hooking up your amps and the
Right.
guitars and the drums and the.
And
so,
is that just music on in the background
Yeah.
for the tracks?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's
So
pretty cool.
do we get to hear you sing today?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I'm
And the
excited
cool
about that
thing
too.
is, in July, you have a lot of things happening. This July, what's happening in July?
I'm releasing my second single, and we're doing my first music video.
Wow.
In Tennessee, and I'm so excited. And I put a single out in March, and it made number 5 on the independent artist
And what's it
chart.
called?
It's called It Ought to Be a Sin.
Ooh.
So I'll be singing that one today.
Oh,
So-
good.
And just for all the local boys, I
haven't-
guess I should call them men now for you.
You better call them then.
For all the local men, are you single or what's your love life situation?
I'm not. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but right now I'm not.
Off the
You're not
market. I'm
single.
sorry,
I'm off
guys.
the market.
Sorry.
So.
There's going to be some disappointed men.
Especially after they hear this
Disappointed
voice.
viewers.
I know.
Now, my first run-in with you is that I heard about you performing with Denise Denham.
Yeah.
Well, not with Denise. I don't know if Denise
At
would appreciate
some-
that. Yeah, she
yeah.
had some sort of function, and that's the first time I heard about you. For probably about 5 years ago, we came up.
Time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
She is like one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah, she absolutely is.
I mean, she
She
buys
sings your
like
praises.
boxes of CDs and puts them in bags for people.
Oh, wow.
She is such a dear
The
lady.
sweetest.
Yeah.
I adore her.
Yeah.
It's so fun to hear a good, local girl
yeah.
done good, like big time good. And
know.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of you in the future,
Yeah.
and we're going to be able to say we knew her when
That's
Yeah.
she
right.
was still independent. And we didn't even get to talk about the labels. You've been meeting with some different labels to
That's
see
right.
about going big time and getting, more money,
Yeah.
which would be nice since
Yeah.
this is the
Oh, yeah.
career you're
Yeah.
pursuing. But,
And the huge thing is that she's doing doing everything independent, and
Yeah.
we really do appreciate you coming on the show, really taking the time to.
I
do
appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you.
that.
And we just let you know about an hour ago that you were going to be on the show, so that was pretty good. That was pretty amazing.
If Leanne Rhymes
last
can do
minute.
it, hey,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
forum,
yeah.
right? We can do it too. So you're going to sing, what are you singing for us this morning?
My first
tonight?
single, it's called "It Ought to Be a Sin."
Okay.
It's a catchy little
Right.
song.
All
so
right. And
I
it's
hope you guys like
country.
it. It's country.
And
yeah.
you guys are going to love it. We're in for
Yeah.
a real treat. So sit back, get your country thing on,
Twang.
and listen to Summer.
Forgiven when you lie to somebody, or when you take the Lord's name in vain, and when your hand gets caught in the cookie jar, there's still a chance your soul can be saved, but it ought to be a sin, an unforgivable, unredeemable, undeniable sin. For you to stop loving me like you did, they should add one more to that list of 10. It ought to be a sin, a low he didn't know that you would treat me that way. Or he'd have kept on chiseling on. It ought to be a sin, an unforgivable, unredeemable, undeniable sin. For you to stop loving me like you did, they should add one more to that list of 10. It ought to be a sin, a low-down, dirty dog sin. Fire and brimstone should be waiting on you. You could swap stories with a heartbreaker or two. It ought to be a sin, an unforgivable, unredeemable, undeniable sin. For you to stop loving me like you did, they should add one more to that list of 10. It ought to be a sin, a low-down, dirty dog sin. It ought to be a sin, a low-down, dirty dog sin.
And now we're back with Daniel Munoz. How are you, Daniel?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. It's,
Of course. Thank you.
it's been fun.
Well, I have to say, I have to just start out with these are like the two best dressed men. I mean,
Yes.
bow tie.
it.
Check out both the shoes.
I gotta
Leather
touch
my
these real
boots.
quick.
I know.
Yeah.
Leather
I like
pants,
those.
really? Those
Yes.
are awesome.
I love
A
it.
nice jacket.
I like
Looks
it.
like you gotta
hat.
show that belt
Hat's a
buckle though.
signature.
I saw just a glimpse
Oh, he's
of
got a
it when
nice
you were
belt.
walking in.
Yes, he's my.
Wow.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy. Well, you must be from Gerber with that belt buckle.
I'm from Gerber. Yeah, actually,
Wow.
nobody dresses like this in Gerber. no, nobody dresses like
It's
this in
not how
Gerber.
people dress in Gerber.
No. But you know what? We got to represent somehow. We have to represent. And yes, I grew up in the North State, the little town of Gerber, and I now live in LA, in Los Angeles.
How is
wow.
that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Lots of competition for like independent artists and everything. You have to be unique. You have to stand out of the crowd, like
Yeah.
a certain way, and that's why this is me.
I think that definitely helps you stand out.
I
for
have
sure.
other jackets. Like I have another jacket that has like feathers on the shoulders and stuff.
Wow.
And it's funny because at first I had someone, I'm not even gonna mention their name,
Okay.
but because I don't want to get in trouble. But I had a friend that's also a singer. He's all like, you shouldn't wear those kind of things because guys don't wear that. And he even told me about the belt.
What?
He even told me about the belt. Like that's too much. And then I saw him like a couple months after. He was all decked out with a bling. and then a lot of other artists started like getting spikes and stuff on their shoulders.
See?
And I'm all like,
Leading the way.
you know what? Hey, it's all good. I'm an independent artist, so that means that when I get up there really big, people are definitely going to be looking at me because they're starting to look at me
That's
now.
right.
So
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
and
We're
that's
not
what
going
it's
to call you
about.
Daniel
That's
anymore.
awesome.
We're just going to call you Trendsetter.
Trendsetter.
That's what it's about. I love,
Yes.
fashion and everything. I
Yeah.
really like it,
Yeah.
and, because I sing Spanish music and it's the
Yes.
regional Mexican, which is more of the traditional Mexican music,
Okay,
like
yeah.
the mariachi,
Oh, that's great.
mariachi music, banda, which is the more of like the wind instruments.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to add my own little twist. I like going to fashion shows down in LA when they have Fashion Week and everything. I like that, and I think that's what kind of like, makes me stand out a
Yeah.
bit because I kind of like that, and I incorporate that into my clothing.
Yeah.
So the
great.
traditional music, there's a lot of competition for that in Los Angeles. The
There's a
traditional
lot.
Mexican.
The
right?
traditional Mexican, and it's very, very tough, very competitive. There's a lot of independent artists, and one of the things that's really hard is that, you have there's like all the big festivals, and I try to hit the big
Right,
festivals
yeah,
because
of
we're talking
course.
about like
lot
from
of people.
6 to 10,000 people,
Wow.
and you could be singing one song, two songs, or half an hour, and you have like that big crowd,
Right.
and it's pretty good. Well, there's a lot of like talent that's so hungry to like
show off what they're doing.
show off what they're doing. So what ends up happening is that in terms of like pay wise, they can get it for free. And so like independent artists like myself, I have an album and everything available on iTunes.
All right.
Available on iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes, putting the plug.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because we can't make much money off of that because somebody else is going to do it.
Right, of course.
Someone will do it for free. So you always have to like be creative. You always have to like, you really have to hustle. Like my performances, like I have my albums, here you go. Like, I always tell them, that I'm on iTunes, please buy music. That's what helps support the artist, Facebook, YouTube, and everything. But it's very, very competitive that way.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of sad because, people like me, we try to get out there, and once we have quality material and everything, it's hard because they want it for free.
Right.
Well, and what you're doing right now is called, in the speaker world, we called it being in the pits.
Yeah.
You're putting in time, and you just do it for free wherever you can, as much as you can, to get your name out there, to get your brand out there, so people know you. They're like, oh my gosh, I love Daniel Munoz. I want him to come sing for, I saw him at a friend's quinceañeras party, and you did that for free, but maybe this next person's going to pay, and so it's like that whole.
Yeah, and you definitely you have to do that. You have to hustle.
You
That's
have to
what
be
it
in
is.
the pits for a little
You
bit.
have to hustle. You have to make sure that if you're going to do that, you can't do that for years because you're not going to make it. And I have a lot of friends that.
Well, I kind of want to. I'm taking you back a little bit to Gerber. Just for a second, because
G-Town, Gerberly Hills, like what else?
I have to talk about. I know that you do your music, but one of the other important things I really think is empowering is that you also talk about bullying.
Yes.
Right. You go into different schools and you talk about bullying, and I do want to hear about bullying, but then I also want to hear about your story on the pink pants. I don't know if you guys saw that, but.
Okay.
That's a story.
Are they leather? They're not leather. They're not leather. They're just pink pants, and they're all decked out. Because, like I said, I'm not afraid to go crazy with my wardrobe. I'm an artist. If anything, they're always criticizing artists for wearing this, for wearing that. But they're talking about that. They're getting attention, and as an artist, you have to be yourself, and you have to just be brave and just go for it, because if you don't, you're just never gonna
blend in.
Yeah, you're just gonna blend in.
That's right.
Well, I earlier actually was last year, I believe November, for Red Ribbon Week.
Okay.
I went to my elementary school as an invited guest. They invited me to go, and I said, "Why don't we have a concert? I'll give a a concert for the kids and everything, and tell them about my story, empower them, and at the same time, talk about following your dreams and staying out of drugs and the whole thing." And they loved the idea. We did it. When I showed up, I had like black pants and everything. Like I had different wardrobe like that. I'm like, what am I gonna wear? What am I gonna wear for these kids? I need to do something that is gonna be different.
Right.
So I had like my black skinny jean pants with like the leather strip on the side, and I'm all like, that's the safe thing to do. But I have my pink pants.
That's right.
You know what? I'm gonna wear these pink pants, and I had the feather jacket and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna wear my pink pants, because I have to show these kids that if I'm not afraid to be myself and to, just follow my own dream, I'm never gonna be a good example, And so I did that, and I explained that to them.
Well, and one of those dreams too was your Univision.
Univision,
right?
yes.
We're running out of time, so tell us quick.
Well, I actually recently won a national contest for the Univision Network, and my song was chosen as the official song for the Mexican Flight Soccer League.
Wow.
And they used it. I got to perform in Miami. They took me to Miami, and
that's cool.
just like Summer was saying, they picked me up with Munoz, and that's me. That's me. That's me. And I've been on a couple of reality shows. I was on a reality show with Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan in Miami. So
I love her. I love her.
So I love all of that, But if anything, I've learned from this is you have to be yourself. You have to follow your own dream. Whatever works for somebody else will not necessarily work for you. You have to set the way, and if just do it.
So we're gonna hear you sing what?
Mentirosa, which means liar.
Liar.
Oh, and I'm also working on a country album. So that's
yes,
my next
yes.
project.
Find
so-
you on iTunes,
Yeah.
Daniel Munoz.
Daniel
guys.
Munoz el Ausente.
There you go.
Yes.
You got
Facebook,
it.
YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Daniel Munoz el Ausente.
That's awesome.
Now this next song is called Mentirosa. Liar. For all the liars out there, for playing with our little heart. Mentirosa for all of you. And I want you to dance at home. You can clap, you can do your thing, nobody's watching. So just be comfortable and enjoy it. No podré mentir si me preguntan que estoy enamorado como un loco de ti. Tu mirar es lo que me provoca el ritmo acelerado de mi corazón. No sé cómo hiciste para olvidarme. Decías que me amabas, que era yo tu ilusión. Mas de pronto tú te marchaste, dejándome tan solo con tu desamor. Mentirosa, mentirosa, no sé por qué yo sigo enamorado de ti. Mentirosa, mentirosa, por más que quiero no puedo olvidarme ya de ti. And like I said earlier, this song is for all the liars out there, especially, where are you? You're watching this right now. Let's do a little turn. Let's go. Just wanted to show off my nice little belt. No sé cómo hiciste para olvidarme. Decías que me amabas, que era yo tu ilusión. Mas de pronto tú te marchaste, dejándome tan solo con tu desamor. Mentirosa, mentirosa, no sé por qué yo sigo enamorado de ti. Mentirosa, mentirosa, por más que quiero no puedo olvidarme ya de ti. And your friend Daniel Munoz el Ausente, thank you so much for having me today. For all the liars out there, thank you so much for dancing this song. Thank you so much for all this opportunity. Pretty soon, I'm recording my first country album, so check it out. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Daniel. Oh, how awesome. Daniel Munoz. Woo! Got a party going. All right. We want to say thanks for watching the forum. Thank you, Summer Schappell. We loved having you on. Thank you, Daniel Munoz. We loved having you, and what a treat to have such a great musical show today. We're so glad you joined us, and we're looking forward to lots and lots of more fun things to come in the future. Check back same time next week for our next episode of The Forum. Good night, everybody.
Please go to our Facebook page, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Local program funding provided by a generous grant from Union Pacific. Union Pacific, building America.
I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the Forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the Forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.